The empty nail on the living room wall stared back at me like an accusation. Sunlight poured through the big windows of our suburban Colorado home. The same light that used to catch my mom's smile in that framed photo. I touched the gold locket at my throat, the one she fastened around my neck in the hospital when I was 9. "So I'll always be with you, sweetheart," she'd whispered. 2 years after she passed, Dad brought Rachel home. She smiled kindly, but her eyes scanned the house like she was already measuring what needed to change. At first the shifts were small. Mom's favorite quilt disappeared from the couch. Her rose garden became tidy rows of marigolds while I was at soccer camp. Each change stung like a paper cut. I kept a journal under my mattress, listing every erased piece of her. Then came Thanksgiving dinner. Rachel reached across the table and said softly, "I'm your mom now, Brooke." The room went quiet. Dad stared at his plate. I felt my jaw tighten the way moms used to when she stood her ground. Being a mom doesn't mean erasing the one who came first. I answered, voice steady even though my heart raced. 3 days later the locket vanished from my dresser. I didn't scream. Instead I walked to the free family law clinic downtown. The attorney reviewed Mom's will right there on his desk. "These personal items, including any jewelry, are yours alone, Brooke. No one can remove or hide them without your consent." Armed with that paper, I calmly asked Rachel where it was. She looked startled, then ashamed. She pulled it from her drawer. "I thought putting it away would help us all move forward," she admitted. I was wrong. I started working afternoons at the local bookstore to save for something special. Mr. Callahan, the old jeweler 2 blocks from Main Street, had known Mom. Using a thin gold bracelet she'd left me, he crafted a second locket, identical but with new engraving inside. "Love expands." While he worked, he told stories about her kindness that made me laugh and cry at the same time. Mom's memorial on what would have been her birthday filled the community garden with white chairs and stargazer lilies. I stood at the small podium and read from her journal. When I lifted both lockets, old and new, Rachel stepped forward. Her voice shook. "My own mother walked out when I was 12. I was terrified of not being enough here, so I tried to clear space for myself. I see now that love doesn't need clearing, it multiplies." Dad wiped his eyes. I hugged her, not as replacement, but as the woman who stayed. That night at dinner we passed around Mom's old recipe box and Rachel's favorite casserole. 2 lockets rested against my collarbone, warm and steady. The house felt full instead of hollow. I finally understood. Family isn't about replacing the past. It's about making room for every heart that chooses to love you. Some bonds can't be erased. They only grow stronger when we let them.